Good afternoon. Looking at a pitch catch ultrasonic machine here today, or at least a Bondmaster is set in the pitch catch mode. What I've done is I've hooked up my pitch catch transducer. Basically, this is an older style. It's a Nortec BMP-1 there. Perfect for pitch catch, which is a nice thing for us, especially when we're dealing with composites, because we don't have to deal with any extra couplers. Let me back you out here, kind of take a look at what I'm looking at. This is just a composite structure, aluminum skins on both sides with an aluminum core in the middle. What I've done is I've created a known defect in this piece. The best thing that you're going to need, or the best thing that you would have when you're actually operating your Bondmaster in the pitch catch mode, is a known defect part as well. So this is the older model over here. This is the Sonic Bondmaster, the original. This guy over here is the Sonic Bondmaster 1000. Okay, both of these machines operate exactly the same. On this one over here, I've hooked up a resonance probe, but I hooked up a resonance probe just to show you the similarity between the types of screens. So I got dual screens over here. I swing back over here. I've got dual screens over here. So anyway, similarity basically is, you know, I could push my run buttons, my alarm buttons. These alarm buttons are going to be good for me to move them around. I push alarm, and then if I want to move this thing around, I push size and position. This is going to allow me to change where my box actually is. So if I push move vertical position or move horizontal position, either way, I'm just rotating this. Okay, push it again, move vertical position, moving it all over the place. Or I could just set it wherever I wanted to start with, just like this. So I'm just moving it around just for kicks and grins. Now, with that, I could go back to my alarm button. I could set a positive or a negative gate, meaning inside or outside the box. I could turn the horn on, which is going to make it loud. Okay, if I wanted to turn it up, I could turn it up, but I'm just going to barely turn it on there for you. And then we're back to that size and position thing again. So if I just want to go back to run, it takes me back to my run screen with my new setup parameters. So I could come back over here with this, again, with my pitch catch probe that I've hooked into my Bondmaster. I could set it, which I already have, but just to show you that we can change it around, I'm going to come over here. I pushed alarm on this one, push limits here, and I can move this thing around wherever I wanted to. Okay, and for now, let me get on the other side here so you can see what I'm doing. Knock you around a little bit. I can move this all the way around here, and for now I've just got this thing set kind of where I want it. No particular place, because I can move this alarm around however I want to. So I'm going to push null. That sets my screen or my dot back in the center there. What I did do, or as soon as I turn this thing on, this particular setup for this Bondmaster runs a pitch catch probe in a swept mode. Now all the swept mode means is, as soon as I put this on the part here, it makes a circle-y kind of thing. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about here. If you're looking over on the left-hand side where it says active, all I'm doing is I'm looking at a known, this is not a known defect yet, this is simply a good part. So if I wanted to save that, I could save that and say, alright, something that looks like that inside of my box is a known good part, and anything like this that jumps outside of my box is going to be a bad part. So biggest thing is set my alarm where I want it. On my composite structure, all I have to do is have a good part. Okay, so I set on my good part. Somehow, some way, and I could jump around here and I could slide this thing around, but it's going to make all kinds of squeaky noises. So I'm not going to do that. Set on my good parts here, and then if I have a bad part, which I do, a known bad part here, known defect, that thing's going to pop out right at me. Now, depending on your location of your defect, just so you can see what I'm talking about for a defect here, I'm going to back you up just a little bit and show you what I've done. I've just crushed some of this core back to simulate a delamination between the top skin here and this core. So I could do that from the back side, I could do that all on both sides. If I were truly going to inspect this piece though, what I would really want to do is I would want to do through transmission. But for now, since I'm just doing a quick check, using pitch catch is not a problem. Anyway, so just to show you kind of here one last time, I'm going to set on my good part here. You can see where I'm at. I'm just on here. So then when I back up and go to my bad part, right there, okay, I'm just over the top of my bad part. And I could push this, I know it's right on the edge right now because that's the easiest place to simulate a defect, but if I pushed it way back in here somewhere, it's not going to make me any difference. It's going to be wherever I put the defect. Okay, so I know back here, I'm dealing with a good part. I pull it back over here. Okay, again, out here on the edge, I've got that thing jumping way outside of the box there. So anyway, my biggest deal for a pitch catch setup, or in some cases a MIA setup, mechanical impedance, I'm going to have to be able to view where I keep my boxes and where I keep my dots. So the biggest thing I would recommend is setting a signal that you have that you know is a good signal or a bad signal, either way. So if you're looking for bad signals, you set a bad signal in the stored, and then when you get something replicated like that, you go back and look at it. Otherwise, same thing with a good signal. As long as you see that good signal, it's not outside the box, you know it's going to be in good shape. Anyway, any more questions on that? That's pretty simple inspections. Pitch catch is not a very, very technical thing because it doesn't have any couplant required. There is a lot more that goes to it than that, but right now all we're looking at is just simple, turn it on. I could go straight in with my pitch catch, and the nice thing about this unit is if I wanted to go back to this, on mine it has a manual button, and that manual will give me directions for what specific probe I want to use. So if I want to use a pitch catch probe, which I do, it's telling me here what to do, and you can read that. I'll give you a second to kind of read through that. But it's a pretty simple inspection using this Bondmaster. There are different types of probes that you would use for different thicknesses, but the one I have, just quite simply, I'm just looking for delaminations between top skin and top of the core. So anyway, if there's any questions there, again, please let me know, and I'll do what I can to answer them. Thanks.